not want music to end. I was not ready, and I had all kinds of sweat coming out of my eyeballs, so I was not prepared. But man, it is good to see you guys. And some of you haven't been here for a few weeks because it's been freezing, but I think we're getting out of the 30s today. Come on, somebody. Listen, the last few weeks, if you came down these stairs with hot coffee, it turned into iced coffee by the time you got to the bottom of the stairs. It's been so cold, but man, today is beautiful. I'm glad you guys are here, and maybe you've never been here before. My name is Joel. I'm the campus pastor here. Welcome to church. We're glad you're here. Maybe you're here for the first time in a long time. We're glad you're back, and I want to shout out everybody who's joining us online right now. Can we just put our hands together for all those groups of people right now? I love it. Hey, so apparently this is a big weekend, like there's some sort of event or holiday or something going on. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
President's Day.
Okay, yeah, it depends what camp you're in, okay? Some of you are like, it's Valentine's Day. Some of you are like, no, it's NASCAR weekend. Which is why I wore my shoes that look like the NASCAR flag. I don't know. But here's what I know. Valentine's Day weekend is also, to my single friends, they call this Singles Awareness Day weekend. If you're into acronyms, that spells sad. And I don't want anybody to be sad today, so I wanted to show you a picture of my dog in his Valentine's outfit. This is from yesterday. He had a red bow tie on, a red sweater, and then my kids cut out a heart and put it on his back. How can you be sad when you're looking at a dog like this? So anyway, don't be sad. And another thing that I'll say to you, if you are single, a lot of times churches do a relationship series. We're starting it today. You know, one of those things. It's Valentine's Day weekend. Good news. We are not doing a relationship series today. You are welcome, single people. You are welcome. And I enjoy gift cards to the Vans outlet. I enjoy share-size bags of peanut M&Ms. You know, I'm kidding. But I'm not kidding that we are starting a new series that is not a relationship series today called Protege. Everybody say Protege. So I'll get into this in a second, but I just want to start out this series by asking you a question. I'm curious, how many of you are on-time people? Raise your hand if you love being on time. Okay, these are the godly people in the room. My people. And I don't want to talk about relationships because we don't want anybody to be sad, but if you are married and you are an on-time person, you definitely married a late person, didn't you? Didn't you do it? Come on, just point at them right now, elbow them, bruise them, whatever. No, I hate being late. I start sinning when I start getting late. You know what I mean? And I don't want to brag or anything, but I have a 6-year track record of getting my kids to their bus stop on time for 6 years. I'm sort of a big deal among the local school bus drivers. And but here's the thing, I almost missed the bus the other day. And it wasn't my fault. Here's what happened. My kid's bus driver, Miss Lisa, she comes on time at 7:48 every single day. She is on time. And we always leave 10 minutes early to go to the bus stop, so we keep that streak alive. And so that morning, I opened up the garage door at 7:38 to drive to the bus stop. And that's when I saw that the garbage truck was broke down right at the end of my driveway. I started sweating. You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this can't happen right now. I got a streak to keep alive. And so I drove my little RAV4 right up to this, broke down trash truck. And I'm like, I'm just trying to give the guy a sign, like, listen, move it or lose it, buddy. And the poor guy, he didn't do anything wrong. It was like the robot arm thingy the robot arm thing. Okay, it was not working. And so he's standing out there looking at it like, this, and he didn't know what to do. I'm in my car just like, come on, buddy. And so I'm just stuck. Like I'm here, he's here, stuck. And so I did a drastic move. I drove through my neighbor's front yard. Because a dad's got to do what a dad's got to do. So I drive through my neighbor's front yard. Now, here's the good news. My neighbor will never know. She lives in Florida during the off season. So unless you all tell her, which you won't, she'll never know. No, she's going to definitely know because this happened like a month ago. And I took a picture of my front yard and her front yard this week. I didn't know it would kill all the grass. I didn't know. So she's definitely going to find out. But at least I got to the bus on time that day. The 6-year streak survives, people. If anybody knows how to like lay fresh sod, come see me after the service. I need to fix this yard. But here's the thing. I was stuck. Everybody say stuck. Stuck behind a trash truck. Here's what I know. It's sort of a crazy story to just tell you. Some of you are stuck right now. You feel stuck, okay? Maybe not behind a trash truck, but maybe you feel stuck because sometimes we feel stuck at a job maybe that you don't love, or at a job with a boss that's asking you to do stuff and you're like, I don't really know if we're allowed to do that kind of stuff. Maybe you feel stuck spiritually and you just don't feel God. Like I was like, man, worship was great. And you're like, yeah, I didn't feel God right during worship. Maybe you're stuck spiritually. Maybe you feel stuck in a relationship. Maybe you feel stuck in a struggle or a vice. Maybe you feel stuck in a season of life like singleness, and it's single awareness day weekend. Maybe you feel stuck at home with toddlers. Come on. We all feel stuck sometimes. Have you ever felt stuck before? Okay, so turn to the person next to you and say, just drive through your neighbor's front yard. Get unstuck. Okay. Hey, so I'm really excited about this series. This is going to be a 3-week series, and it's going to be, we call it Protege. The protege in this series is Elisha. Everybody say Elisha. He is the protege of Elijah. Everybody say Elijah. Who's confused? Welcome to the Bible. Okay, so Elijah, two different people. And when we meet Elisha, everybody say Shah. My man is stuck. Okay, he's in his 20s. He's completely stuck. He's from a very, very rich family, but he's working on the family farm. And he's stuck behind these oxen all day, every single day. So he's stuck plowing the same old dirt every single day. He is stuck behind these same oxen every single day. He's stuck working for the same old family every single day. He's stuck. Now, pop quiz. Do you know who winds up in the Bible doing the most miracles out of anybody outside of Jesus? Elisha. The guy who is stuck. Okay, why? Because only God can take ordinary people who feel stuck and just do something amazing and change their story. And so if you feel stuck today, here's the good news. Just because you're stuck right now doesn't mean that God can't get you unstuck right now. Just because you're stuck right now does not mean that God can't get you unstuck right now. And so I want to show you the moment. There's a big moment in the Bible where Elijah, the Bible legend, okay, he is going to pass the torch to Elisha, the future Bible legend. So this is in Exodus 19. And if you don't have a Bible, we'll put it up on the screen for you. It says this. It says, so Elijah, he's the old OG legend. Elijah went and he found Elisha. This is going to be our future legend, the protege. Son of Shaphat, plowing a field. Everybody say stuck. So Elisha's plowing a field. There were 12 teams of oxen in the field, and Elisha was plowing with which team? The 12th team. So Elijah went over to him and threw his cloak across his shoulders and then walked away. Now, let me just kind of break this down. Up until this point in the Bible, Elijah has done the most miracles out of anybody. He is a big deal. Now, Elijah is ready to retire. He is tired. His dogs are barking. He wants to play pickleball. He's ready to retire. And so God's like, okay, listen, Elisha, this is the next man up. Now, we meet Elisha. I love Elisha because we find out later in the Bible, Elisha is bald. Come on, bald people. We got a guy in the Bible. We got one. Yes. We find out he is bald. He's in his 20s. He's rich because any family farm that had 12 sets of oxen, you were balling like it was 9th century BC. You had a lot of money. The family had a house up on the cul-de-sac. A lot of scholars think that maybe Elisha had 11 other siblings. They were the ones driving the 11 other oxen teams in front of him. We don't know, but we know that Elisha is rocking on the last team, the 12th oxen team. So, question, and this is not a trick question. If Elisha is standing behind a set of oxen all day long, what is he having to stare at all day, every single day? Oxen butts. Everybody say oxen butts. My man is staring at oxen butts all day, every single day. He's stepping in oxen moon pies all day, every single day. And maybe that's how you feel. You feel like I am just stuck at college studying the same old thing for the same old degree every single day. I'm stuck with this stupid job. I'm stuck, running out of money before the end of the month. I'm stuck changing my kids' stanky old diapers every single day. Talk about moon pies. Elijah, if he were here, he would say, I get it. I know what it's like to feel stuck and being last in line. Now, I went to East Millsboro Elementary School. Any East Millsboro Elementary School alum? Okay. A few of us. There's 3 in this service, 2 in the last service. I love going to East Millsboro Elementary School. I had a lot of great friends in that school. I was friends with the tallest kid in my class, Matt Lawrence. I was friends with the kid in my class who had a Nintendo Entertainment System and a 4-wheeler, Mr. Kurt Stevens. I was friends with the kid in my class that if somebody messed with you, he would mess them up, Kenny Knox. Come on. I was friends with Mary Daisy, the smartest girl in the class, because I was not the smartest, but I was smart enough to be friends with Mary Daisy, so she could help me with my homework, okay? And so I love going to East Millsboro Elementary School, but when it came to 6th grade, my parents forced me to change schools and sent me to this small private Christian school. Now, I don't want to knock on Christian schools because I know a lot of you love Christian schools. They're all good, but my experience was these Christian school kids were mean. Way meaner than the public school kids. Listen, Christian school kids, they learn about sin in class, and they are good at it. They are mean little sinners, okay? So it was a very hard year for me in 6th grade. Let me tell you, it was very hard. And the thing I hated the most in 6th grade is in 6th grade, we always played kickball out at recess. Everybody play kickball at recess? Like, that's the thing. And so they had the same 2 captains every single day, and everybody else would just line up, like who's going to get picked for the team. And I would understand if I got picked last sometimes. I mean, somebody's got to be picked last, right? I got picked last every single day of 6th grade. I'm like, even my public school friends knew that you didn't do that. Like, you got to switch things up. But Christian school kids, man, they were messy. Here's the thing. I was always picked, and I was always last in line. And in the story, Elisha, he is stuck last in line. And just imagine the moment when Elijah picks him, okay? How many teams of oxen are there? There's 12, okay? So just imagine this. Elijah goes to team number 1. He's like, you're not it. Team number 2, nope, you probably can't play kickball. Team number 3, nope. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, nah. Then he gets to team number 12, which is Elisha, and he says, I pick you. And that's when Elisha gets picked. How cool is that moment, right? And here's what I love about this, and we'll put this on the screen. God has a pattern of choosing the stuck ones at the back of the line. God has a pattern of looking for the ones that everyone else overlooks. And so Jesus himself, he said the last will be what? First. And so if you feel last in line right now, if you feel like nobody is picking you, I just want to tell you this morning that the one who matters the most, he picks you. He picks you. Listen, God loves people last in line. God, listen, back row people. Let me see. Raise your hand, back row people. God loves the back row people. He's psyched that you sat in the back row. He loves back row people. You front row people, you should have sat in the back. Elisha is stuck in the back. The whole neighborhood, the whole neighborhood is looking at Elisha like, oh, this kid, he's just rich, bald, no future. He just got a rich family. But Elisha is going to be the protege. He's the one that God is going to choose to change his story. And we saw the moment that Elijah passes the torch on to Elisha. Remember that? Let me remind you, this is in verse 19. Elijah went over to him, Elisha, threw his cloak across his shoulders and then walked away. Now, I'm wearing my Levi's jean jacket today. I don't know if you've noticed. I'm a 1980s kid, and so in the 80s, you rocked a jean jacket. Come on, how many of you remember the 80s? You wore the jean jacket. If you didn't have a jean jacket or a surf-style jacket back in the day, you're going to get beat up at recess. It was very important what kind of jacket you wore at recess. But this is made out of jean material. Now, this jacket that Elijah gives to Elisha is not made out of jean material. It was most likely made out of fur material because that had to keep you warm in all sorts of different weather conditions. It also had to be super, super thick because it would double as your mattress when you would go to sleep at night. Plus, Elijah's jacket was full of all these different compartments where you could hide different things. It was basically your luggage, and so your jacket was a big deal. So why would Elijah give Elisha his jacket? Because this is the moment where God's like, listen, Elisha, I pick you. I want to change your story. You're about to get unstuck and you don't even know it because you are the protege. And here's what I want to say out of that. God has this way of using people who feel like they are nobody, and he can do something amazing through them. There's things through them that they never even saw possible through them. I remember my job in college. By the way, how many of you, well, let me ask you this. What did you do for work in college? Anybody want to just shout me out? Tell me.
I worked in the cafeteria.
You worked of the college?
Yes.
Okay, worked in the cafeteria of the college. Did you get a discount or free food?
I got to eat all I wanted.
All you want. If you're a kid going to college, go work in the cafeteria. They probably don't do that anymore because things are weird now. Anyway, what else did you guys do? Anybody want to tell me what you did?
Folded shirts.
I can't hear nothing, Rob. Folded shirts at the Gap. Give it up for Rob, the shirt folder at the Gap. We all did different jobs in school, okay? Like working in the cafeteria, folding shirts at the Gap. So for me, my job, and if you're like an old school Sussex County person, you'll remember this place. I worked at the Georgia House Restaurant, a local legend. How many of you remember the Georgia House Restaurant? Yeah, some of you are like, oh, I've never been there. Can I go? No. It doesn't exist. It is gone. But it was a great place. And I was the fryer/salad guy. I think I still smell like, fried chicken and ranch dressing, which is why my wife loves me so much. But I worked there through my whole college, my time at college. And when I was in college and I was working in the kitchen, I was the fryer/salad guy. And listen, I don't want to say this in like a judgmental sort of way, but the kitchen staff, they were living La Vida Loco. I learned some stuff in that kitchen. And I was just I'm a straight-laced Christian kid in college, so I wasn't like sleeping around or partying or whatever. And let me just tell you, I was the butt of all the jokes, okay? I gave them a lot of comedic material for my whole college time. It was great for them. But I'll never forget when my friends, I really care for these guys. When they were going through something and their life kind of went off the rails, they would come and talk to me. I'm like, why are you talking to the salad guy? And so they would ask me advice. And I remember by the end of my time at the Georgia House, I had probably gotten half those guys to come to church with me. And I was like, I'm the nobody fryer guy. And here's the thing, never underestimate what God can do through you when you feel like you're in a low position and you feel like you're a nobody. And so back to the story, you got Elisha. He's leading oxen team number 12 of 12. He's stepping in oxen moon pies all day long. He's staring at oxen butts all day, every single day. But he's got the jacket on. So he's the protege. And so if I'm Elisha, just being honest with you, I'm thinking, what do I do now? Like, do I play it safe? Because I could stay at home living at mom and dad's big old house in the cul-de-sac, and mom shops at the fresh market. So like, I like that. Or should I take a risk, go all in, follow Elijah, and try to get unstuck and maybe drive through the neighbor's front yard to get out of this place? That's the question. And have you noticed that getting unstuck takes a risk? Like getting unstuck. Like maybe you're stuck in an addiction, and giving up that addiction, man, there's a risk in that. The risk in that is like, I feel comfortable in this. This is normal. This is where I get numbed out. Or maybe like you're in college and you're like, yeah, I want to kind of straighten things up, and I want to stop sleeping around or stop going to parties or whatever. But the risk in that is your coworkers, they may sniff that out. You may be in a different stage of life, and maybe you are, let me see where my notes go here. Okay. Oh, maybe you're in your job. You're just like, I don't know. I feel like I need to change my job. And if you change your job, that's a risk. Maybe you're single right now. And the reason that you're single right now is because the last dude you dated was an oxen butt. And it is a risk to go out there and try to date again when you know there are oxen butts all around. It's a risk. And if I could just kind of say this, and we'll put this on the screen. The best way to stay stuck is to keep playing it safe. The best way to stay stuck where you are right now is just keep playing it safe. Listen, the best things in my life right now took me taking a risk. Like, if I didn't take a risk, I would not be married to the greatest woman in the world today. I wouldn't have the 2 greatest kids I've ever met in my life today. I wouldn't be standing on this stage right now. All those things felt like a risk at the time. But man, I'm so glad I didn't play it safe. And I took a risk. And so my question is, where do you feel stuck right now? And what risk do you need to take to get unstuck right now? Maybe you take that risk and you ask that girl out who loves Jesus because she's waiting on you, bro. Come on. Maybe it's time to take a risk and you downsize so you can be that stay-at-home parent you feel like God's calling you to be. Maybe you take a risk and you delete that app that keeps on tripping you up. Maybe it's time to take a risk to invite that one person to church that you know needs to be here. Maybe it's time you take that risk and you pull the kids out of travel sports so that your family can be in church on Sundays. Just kidding. Maybe not. It's good if kids are good at soccer. It's better if they're good at Jesus. Anyway. All right, I'm going to move on because I'm going to get something thrown at me. But what if God's better future for you depends on you taking a risk to get unstuck? So here's what Elisha does, and this is in verse 20. Elisha, he left the oxen standing there. Okay, Elisha, looks like you're taking a risk. But then it kind of takes a turn. Okay, he ran after Elijah and he said to him, first, okay, before I leave or go anywhere, let me go and kiss my mother and father goodbye. Everybody say womp womp. I say that because it kind of sort of feels like he's maybe chickening out a little bit right here. And I know a little something about chickening out. So the other day, I was running in my neighborhood, and a couple things about my neighborhood. Number one, everybody in my neighborhood is retired. I think every single person, okay? Like if me and my wife were talking to one of our neighbors and they ask us what we did that day and we say work, they look at us like, what? You work on a Tuesday? Like, yeah, it's crazy, you know? The second thing is everybody in my neighborhood, they just walk. I have the walkingest neighbors you've ever seen in your life. They walk their dogs like 75 times a day. These dogs are ripped. My dog is fat. He has never been walked, okay? He has never gone on a walk, okay? So anyway. So I'm running, and I run into this neighbor, and I know this neighbor. Now, here's how I know this neighbor. All right, my wife has made sure that we know 100% of our neighbors. I'm an introvert. Like, I would be okay if I didn't really know anybody in my neighborhood, but my wife is living La Vida Loco, okay? So she's like, we got to talk to they're moving. Go talk to them. We got to know who they are. So I know this guy. I love this guy. It's a great guy, actually. And we've actually talked a lot about God, and he doesn't believe that God is real yet. And we've had great conversations. So I run into him and I'm talking to him, and he mentions that his mom had just passed away. And I feel for this guy for real. And I felt like something in me was like, hey, you need to pray with him, Pastor Joel. And I'm like, pray with him? I can't. This guy thinks that you're my imaginary friend, God. How can I pray? This is not going to go well for me. And God's like, do it. And guess what I did? I chickened out. You didn't see that coming, right? I'm just being honest with you. I chickened out because this guy adamantly does not believe in God. And I'm like, ugh. And I walked away and I'm like, no. I had an opportunity, and so I got a plan next time. The next time this guy even breathes that the grocery store was out of ranch and he's upset about it, I'm going to be like, take my hand, brother. I'm going to anoint you with oil. We're going to pray for the ranch on aisle 12, whatever. It's easy to chicken out when things feel like a risk. Isn't that true? And so here's what you need to hear from the guy who just chickened out. We'll put this on the screen. Whenever God prompts you to do something, don't delay and immediately obey. Don't delay, but immediately obey. God's telling me, to pray with that unbeliever in my neighborhood. Do it. God's telling me to take this job. Do it. God's telling me to drain pour these pills and this alcohol that I just can't quite kick the habit on. Do it. God's telling me to start being sexually pure until we get married. Do it. God's telling me to go all in and give marriage another shot. Do it. Do it. And maybe you're like, okay, I don't know. That feels risky. I don't know. And it is. But isn't it risky to stay stuck also? Like staying at the job where you're being asked to do things you don't think is right, that's risky. Staying stuck in addiction, that is risky. Staying stuck, compromising what you know that God says is not best for you, that is risky. All those things are risky. And here's what I'm learning. We'll put this on the screen. Spiritual maturity is when we close the gap between what God's asking us to do and our obedience. Whew. This is like a, oh my oxen butt kind of moment for me. Like, I feel convicted in a good way. Spiritual maturity is when we close the gap between what God's asking us to do and our obedience. And so back to Elisha. Okay, he's got the coat. He's been stuck behind these oxen butts, but he is leaving them. But then he stops at mom and dad's house because it feels like maybe he's chickening out. But this is what happens in verse 20. Elisha says, I will go with you. Drop the mic. I will go with you. In other words, Elisha's like, let's go. Let's get unstuck. Let's change our story. Let's do it. And then this is where it gets so good. Some of you are going to think this is good. This is going to freak some of you out, but I think this is good. Verse 21. So Elisha returned. He goes back to the oxen. Okay, but don't worry. He slaughters them. And he uses the wood from the plow to build a fire to roast their flesh. He passed around the meat to the townspeople, and they all ate. Then he went with Elijah as his assistant because he is a protege. Okay, some of you are like, oh, that seems a little bit crazy. No, listen, my man just threw a block party and a barbecue for the whole neighborhood. I mean, they're eating brisket from oxen. They got Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce all on their face. Elisha is in the back of a truck bed. He's wearing a fur coat. He's bald. He's basically like Snoop Dogg, like, what's up? They were balling like it was 9th century, man. Like it was a moment. And don't miss this. Elisha burned that stinking moon pie covered plow. He burned the plow. Now, quick question. Did Elisha know what was next or how this was all going to play out? No, he just burned the plow. And so this is what he did, and we'll put this on the screen. He took a risk, he didn't delay, and he immediately obeyed. He took a risk, he didn't delay, and he immediately obeyed. This is the formula that got him unstuck. This is the formula that changed his story. And oh, by the way, Elisha is the guy who does more miracles in the entire Bible than anyone outside of Jesus. Why? Because God does crazy, unexplainable things when we are willing to do crazy, unexplainable things for him. I'll end with this. It reminds me of when Stacy and I first got married. So back in 2007, I was working at the church. Stacy was full-time in college. And I tell you this all the time, we were broke. We were so broke, we couldn't afford to go to KFC and lick other people's fingers. We were not balling in 2007 AD. Okay, let me just tell you that. But we were in love. Now, we had a tiny house. This was before tiny houses were a thing. We had a tiny house. But we had 2 really big mortgages, okay, because that was called creative financing from our loan officer. We had 2 mortgages, 1 tiny house, and we couldn't afford any of it. And so we just didn't have any money. Now, I found one of our budgets, and I showed you this guy a few months ago, but I found one of our budgets in the attic the other day from that first year. And so our income was $2,386 for the month. Our expenses were $2,921. Anybody seeing a problem? Do you need a calculator to help figure this out? No, we were broke. Okay, we had no money. And I remember, by the way, food was $163. Take me back to 2007, please. Anyway, so I remember thinking like, well, God, we can't give money to the church. I mean, anybody with a calculator knows that like, this math ain't mathin'. But I felt like God was saying to us, hey, you're stuck. And would you just trust me and give back to the church? And I'm like, God, could I share a calculator with you? Because this is not going to work. And God just said, just burn the plow. And I remember I set up our giving on reoccurring automatic giving. That was the only way I wouldn't be tempted when I was in Walmart grocery shopping to buy Oreos, because we were buying, the store brand like Boreos. I'm like, well, this money just needs to automatically go away or, else. And so that was 18 years ago. And let me just tell you, God has blown me and Stacy's mind in how he's taking care of us. We have never missed a bill, and we can afford Oreos now. We still buy Boreos because we is cheap, okay? But we had to burn the plow. And this isn't a message about giving, unless it is for you. But this is a message about what risks do you need to take? What plow do you need to burn? Where do you need to get unstuck? And how do you need to not play it safe to get there? And so where are you feeling stuck right now? And what's God asking you to do? Maybe you feel stuck spiritually right now. Maybe you feel stuck in an addiction right now. Maybe you feel stuck at that job. Maybe you feel stuck in that lifestyle. Maybe you feel stuck in a stage of life like singleness. And again, it's Single Awareness Day weekend. You're like, I don't know where you feel stuck. But here's my question for you, and we'll end with this. What plow do you need to burn to get unstuck right now? What plow do you need to burn to get unstuck right now? Because God does crazy, unexplainable things when we're willing to do crazy and unexplainable things for him. And Elisha, don't forget, he didn't delay. He took a risk and he immediately obeyed. And that's the moment he stopped staring at oxen butts. And this is weird, but you know what I pray for you on this front row during worship? I prayed that you would get unstuck from staring at whatever oxen butt you're staring at. That's what I pray for you today. But I can't do it for you. Only you can do it, and God can do it.